Greetings, pioneers, and welcome back to Satisfactory, where last time we kind of finished up all of our tier 2 work on our starter factory. We just kind of need to do the tier 1 stuff, so that's what we're going to get started with today. But after that, we want to make sure that we can get the space elevator down and get tier 3 and 4 unlocked. Do some coal. So the first thing we're going to do to get started on is tear this all up and replace it and clean this up and the wires and all that good stuff. But first, mission accomplished. So we need to move all of these containers and then put down foundations. Start by creating a bunch of bins. That'll work. Now to move stuff. Why is this one over here? Delete, 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 delete. Just making a little encampment for our miners, or at least the iron miners. No idea what I'm gonna do with the copper. We're gonna try to create a little tiny bus going over there. We don't have blueprints yet, so we're gonna have to do this by hand. See if we can do this height. Will this go over without clipping? That's perfect. Oh yeah. And we can do a little bit of curves for fun. A little bit of color. It's nothing super fancy, but that'll work. Perfect. All right, so we're just gonna have all 4 come this way. Although the one running here will probably get off early to go to tier 1 stuff here. Might need to rotate this one. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that Mark II. Oh, it's trying. It's trying. Oh, I love that feature. Let's see, that would be 1, 2. And is this not useful? Steven, I am trying to do some very important build work. Bring these up on normal lifts. Beautiful. There we go. And one final touch. That's gonna run the belts again. Number 2, and amount of reinforced iron plates. And that's number 3. So I think we'll do the power like something like this. So we'll hide the cable up under here, and then we can have it connected to this side where it can connect to a foundation there, and then snap on there, come out the other side, just add power shards. All right, with that underway, let us pave the world. All right, now that we got some pavement down, the idea is that we have to figure out how to fit our tier 1 stuff in here. So let me figure that out. 1 second. I'm thinking for copper, we can do in a setup similar to our assemblers, where I'm going to have 60 copper go this way and 60 go that way. And the 60 going this way are going to all do wire. But some of that wire is going to merge back and go to the other side down to cable. Or I'll do cable here. I haven't decided yet. But the other 3 are going to do copper sheets with the the copper coming from here. I've seen worse. I've done worse. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Copper's done. Why don't we just go ahead and unlock AI limiters? We may or may not automate them, but we can still use them for smart splitters, which means we'll also need smart splitters. And now we have smart splitters.
Smart splitter unlocked. The smart splitter offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
Well, that was practically normal. All right, we've added tier 1 and tier 2. Still got a little bit of cleanup work to do. Got to get the hub moved. Not too much left, and then we'll be able to move on into the space elevator. Could just put it right there. It's a good idea. Let's set a platform up. Whee! Okay, I did a quick cleanup on our hub. I moved it right here and put it up on a little bit of an elevated platform. Get up nicely. And then I added a little stack of extra chests. Threw a couple extra items down. I think it's time to move on and get the space elevator down. I think down there would be fine. Or over here. We did happen to clear this spot earlier, didn't we? It's not exactly flat, is it? Oh, look at this. Distractions! And we'll try right here. There we go. Ah, now to watch the best part. Oh, and look at that beautiful ring, whatever that might be. That's new. It looks cool. Oh, we are locked and loaded. That looks so great. The lighting on it, that's fantastic. All right, that'll work for now. Now we need to get these smart plating done. We'll just put a lift here. Some kind of lift there. Perfect. And we'll just go ahead and... no rotors. It's temporary. We'll just belt it down there. And we're going to go ahead and set this to smart plating. What we can do while we're waiting is see if we can go craft some AI limiters. And with the AI limiters, we can set up some smart splitters. And I think maybe even set up an awesome sink somewhere. I don't really know. 15 should be good. The best spot for it is right where this tree is probably. I really like this tree too. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. The best spot for it is that empty spot over by our biomass production. Now, if we can somehow send it right down here, we can just use a Mark II lift. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So if we can do a smart splitter, say right here, the right output can be any, be none, and the left output can be the overflow. And that means we can do something like this. And not the greatest, but it'll work temporarily, like this. And then this Mark II belt would go down to the sink. And we just got to kind of repeat that wherever we're putting in the overflow. So like here. Alrighty. It may not be the prettiest storage system to date, but it is a storage system, and it has an overflow. And an overflow means we're going to get extra coupons right away, which is great. And the good news is, smart plating is done. Let's send it. And off it goes. On to the blue yonder. Whoa! Oh my God. That is awesome. We get to see it being created. Oh, that is epic. Okay, we are in phase 2. Time to move on and get automated coal power.
Reminder, not only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies.
Aw.
It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and or puppies.
I mean,
Continue the work for their sake. Continue the work for Fix-It.
time to save the kittens and puppies. We do that with coal power and maybe a nice tool of destruction. This. And launch. Give me my Xenobasher. That's what I'm talking about. Now I'm invincible. Underlay! This coal power launch. Yeah. Automated power, here we come.
To test if something is water, try touching it. If it is not solid and does not corrode your suit, it is probably water.
Huh. Shatter rebar.
Fix-It does not condone the use of such violent methods, so make sure there are no witnesses.
That's doable. I'll make sure. All right, I think we're just about ready to go get the coal, but I want some more inventory slots because I'm getting kind of full, and the one thing we missed was vehicular transport. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump all this in. Launch. And one last thing I want to grab before we go. I have one coupon, and I want to get floor holes. Snag that with the one coupon we have. Okay, time to head over to our coal location, which is there. Well, we're gonna be building the coal there, but that's where we're heading. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and drag a power line all the way out to the coal plant. This will also help us zip line and also get back easier. Yoink. All right, here we are in our little spot. We got water right there, and there is 4 normal coal nodes, 2 right here, and 2 more up this hill, and some friends. Now, our plan is we're gonna build our coal factory right about here, and we're gonna pull 2 of these nodes. We're gonna overclock them, so we can be able to get 16 coal generators. So let's go clear our spot downstairs. There's some friendlies. Sneaky, sneaky. See you later. Oh, you have to take extra hits. Cool. Yoink. All right, let's focus on coal power. Our biomass burners are not going to last forever up there. So let's go ahead and lay out some foundations here. We're going to start with a 4 meter, so we have something to align to. So we're going to use a 1 meter here, and we're going to go, we want this to be 12 wide. I'll do an extra one here, and my goal is not to intersect that. So this works. Perfect. So we're going to go out by 3. So we're going to fit water extractors in the water, so we need at least 3 spaces. There's 3, and I'm going to go 2, and then 3 more, and then 2. So 10 out. That's good. Do the same thing. 10 more that way. I could put 2 meters here and extend it by 1 more. Yeah, let's do that. Let's wait. Everything's consistent. So we got 2 nice foundations of walking. We're gonna have 3 space for water extractors and do 2 sets of 10 over to the other side. Then do 3 more and 2 more sets. So we're going to find the middle here, which is number 6. Right here is the middle. Now you can do this 2 ways. You could attach foundations in the water, and your water extractors will align to a grid. But I don't like putting foundations in the water. There's another easy way. You can use a pipeline support or a junction. I like supports. They're a little easier to work with. I'm just going to step on it, do a water extractor. And I have the water extractor face, and I'm going to hold control. And now I can slide it back and forth. I'm going to go get the yellow so it kind of touches. I'm going to bring it forward just a little bit.
That may indeed be water. Try submerging your arm. If it does not dissolve, that will narrow down the range of possibilities.
Yeah, how about I just jump in? Whee! Oh, look, I'm alive. All right, so now that we are aligned to the grid, we can easily just snap water extractors by holding control to the side of the water extractor. Like this. And these are also lined with the grid. You can see nice and lined up, so they line up perfectly. That's all you got to do. I'm going to do the same thing here and just repeat. 6 water extractors done. Now we got to pipe them. But before I do that, I want to make sure my alignment's going to be right. So we're going to go ahead and build the top floor above these. And the easiest way to do that is find your outside corner, and we're going to go vertical, and we're going to go up 5 foundations. This is 20 meters. Yes, this means we'll need to use pumps, but they only cost 4 megawatts, so I don't have a problem with that. But if you do, you can put your coal generators to the side. You don't have to do pumps. Or you can do water tower, whichever you prefer. Our goal here is just to cover our base platform, so the top platform should be as big as our base. There we go. Nicely covered. All right, so what you want to make sure is you're finding the foundation that's lining up with this first set of foundation next to our water extractors. And what we're going to do on that is we want our coal generator halfway onto this foundation. So about here, not crossed over like that, but halfway. And we want the side of the coal generator to be lined up with the edge of this foundation. So we have 1 foundation of walk space. We're going to place it right here like this. And that'll allow us to put our floor holes on this quarter of the foundation, the quarter going this way. Don't worry about it lining up going this way. You'll see in a second. And we'll do a floor hole right next to it right there. And now I'm going to add the other 7 and show you why we're doing this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here's the 8th one. When we put the 8th one down, it lines up with the edge of the foundation here as well. And that means that all 8 fit perfectly on 10 foundations. And then we still have a full foundation for walking. And that's why we're not worried about it lining up this way on the foundations for pretty floor holes. But we do want it lined up in the quarter, just for our sanity. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the floor holes down the line and the pipeline holes. Perfect. And you can go ahead, if you want, use Mark 1 or Mark 2, add in the conveyor lifts, and I'm going to go ahead and attach the piping. All right, I'm going to repeat this on the second row, which I believe would be right here. So past the water extractors. Again, first foundation. We're going to go ahead and bring it all the way up, lined up. It shouldn't cross the half line. Well, I mean, that's fine. So we're on the edge, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of these and repeat what we did there. With the coal generators and floor holes all set up, we're going to return to the bottom and get our piping and built work done. Now, I wish I had blueprints for this, but I don't, so we're going to have to do this by hand. But the pipe work will be easy. Ow! All right, excuse me. I need to take care of something. Problem solved. Yoink! Where was I? Before, I used to use ceiling attachments to do something like this, where you would bring the ceiling attachment out like this, where if I wanted the pipe junction here, I would bring it back like this, and then delete this and add the pipe junction. But we don't need to do that, because you can actually snap the pipe junction to the ceiling. So I'm just going to align these pipe junctions with all of these pipes, and we are in alignment with this quarter of the foundation all the way down the line. So we'll just pipe those up, and we're good. Next, got to deal with the floor holes. And the floor holes are a little bit more difficult. You could do a manifold, and that'd be pretty simple if you just do belts on the ceiling like this. You're going to want to align it 1 meter away from the floor hole, and you would probably do something like this. You just bring it over If this is where you want the splitter to be, you just bring this 1 meter back, just like the pipe junctions. And then you could just snap a splitter on it, and it will be in line with the floor hole, which you could just attach to. And you could quickly do that down the line. Just keep doing this. And that is the easiest way to do it. And I don't want to do that. So we're going to do a load balance setup. Slightly different process. We need to set up our splitter. If I wanted the splitter to be flush with that thing, I'd have the belt come in right here, this quarter of the foundation direction. But I want it 1 meter away, so we're going to back up. I'll show you. So we'll delete this, and we'll attach the splitter. And you can see I'm actually 1 meter away from the floor hole, which is what I want. From there, we're going to attach another splitter to the back of this belt, and we're going to have the input still coming in from over here. And we're going to do another belt, 1 meter, delete the ceiling attachment, and a third splitter. I'm going to turn it this way, so the input is coming from this way, but you can still do it this way if you want. And that is our start of our load balance setup. Next, we want to have a couple more splitters. So we're going to need a splitter here. So we can actually do this like this. We can bring this belt all the way down and turn it so that it's in line and bring it over by 1 meter. That was using straight mode, which works great. And we attach our splitter, and it's just where we want it. Now, we want this one. It's going to split out. We're going to go all the way down. We're going to go down to the 5th one here, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do to right here, because we want 2 splitters. So this is where you'd want it for 1 splitter. Of course, we need 2 splitters. So we'll back quarter of a foundation, delete that. We'll add a splitter on there. And we can do 1 belt right out of there and attach our second splitter right there. And we'll do 1 more belt out of here, coming down to the second to last hole, line it up to 1 meter past the center, attach your splitter on, just like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and attach floor holes. Every other one should be empty. The other ones should attach to a splitter. And you can easily tell if it attached because this one crosses into the splitter. This one should be short, long, short, long, short, long, perfect. And then from there, you just output each splitter just like this. Boom, load balanced setup. Now I'm going to repeat that same process for the second one. All right, this one is done as well, although I had to extend the platform out by 1 to fit the initial 3 splitters, but that's not a huge deal. All right, let's move on to connecting our water extractors. And this part is super easy. We're going to bring our pipes out, line them up. We're going to want to match them up with the above pipes up there. So we want our junctions to be aligned here. So we're going to move back by 1 meter and switch to horizontal to vertical. And we're going to go as high as we can put it, just like this. And repeat that with the other 2. Then you go ahead and delete the pipeline supports, snap junctions on, and connect them together. Now, while we're still in horizontal to vertical mode, what we want to do on each side is attach a pipe to the outside like this. And that will create this lovely little L shape, just like that, and like this, which is perfect. Now, the thing here is that these will only provide 10 meters of head lift. We need to get it all the way up to the coal generators, which is from here all the way up to the coal generators should be exactly 20 meters. So we're going to put our pump here. We're going to rotate it so our power line is somewhere on this side, whichever works. And we're going to do the same one here, roughly in line. It's a little far apart, so you won't notice it if it's off. There we go. Now we need to make sure that we run some power cables. So I'm going to go ahead and attach a power line to this line, and then I'm going to do the same thing for these water extractors. So they're going to have the power line come forward, and it's going to go connect to that foundation edge. So the same thing here, straight line. Same thing here, straight line. And finally the pump to the same thing. And then we can connect them all. And temporarily, we need to bring a power line over. All right, I'm going to repeat the process over here and do the exact same thing. All right, we are done on this side as well. I'm not going to connect the 2 sides because we're going to kickstart it with this side, and then we'll turn this side on afterwards. That way we don't have to like power everything with biomass burners. I know there are other ways to get water up. Maybe you through a water tower or some fun piping. We could just use 1 water pump. But I don't mind doing it this way. It's a minor amount of power, and I like it. So we're going to stick with it. All right, let's set down some biomass burners. Split up our fuel somehow. We're going to go ahead and feed these 3. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just power these to this little line here temporarily. So this is our temporary line, and that gets the water pump started. The next thing we need to do is quickly get some coal over here. We're not going to do anything fancy to get this thing kick started. We're going to go ahead and just put down a couple of miners here. We're going to set them up for overclocking because we want 120 each. And I'm going to go ahead and run Mark II belts down and plug one of those in. All right, we're going to go ahead and plan. I'm going to go ahead and assume our belts are going to come in here for now. We'll probably have a pillar or something here that'll block it. So we're going to go ahead and just pretend we're going to come one in here this way. We'll come around whatever that is. And the other one will come in kind of like this. This is not the belt that's supposed to attach here, but it's the one with the coal. So we're going to use it temporarily. So that is a Mark II belt coming all the way in. And we're just going to attach it like that. We will fix that in a moment. Let's just get these coal generators turned on and running. All right, one of our 8 is not turning on, but that's okay. We're got power. Oh, that would explain it. We attached the belts. So we'll just open up the floor, reattach. There we go. And it kicked on. Just what I wanted to see. And our power grid has now got 600. And we have lots of power. 600. Now we can go ahead and plug in the second set and get that second miner running. Let's go ahead and belt it. All right, with any luck, this one's going to be able to do straight to that. So we'll run a power line down here to kick on the water extractors, and we'll run the coal down to the very end. Now, if you find your coal generators are turning on and off like mine are right here, it's probably because your water hasn't saturated. So what you can do is just disconnect one coal generator. That way there's more water flow than being consumed, and that way you can wait for the pipes to fill up. Full pipes are best pipes. While I'm waiting on these pipes to finish filling up, why don't we add just a little bit of decoration? Just a smidge. I'm gonna go ahead and run some basic walls, just the 1 meter around this platform. It'll give it a little bit of color. I'm gonna use fences downstairs though. And we could also play around with the new stuff we want. We could put like the construction fence if you wanted to maybe. I don't know about intersecting the power lines, but at the very least, you could do this. That way it feels like you're blocking off the more dangerous part of the generator, but you still have access to the front. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing over here. Why not? There we go. I like that. That gives us just, you know, a little something up here. Now let's go downstairs while this is running. Now we might be wondering, what am I gonna do? But what I think I'm gonna do is I think I can do this. I'll use the small pillars because that will fit with the belt there for now. And I can at least do something like that and add smaller pillar support right here. I'd like the big one, but this works for now. We have room for the big one over here, but since I'm using the small one, I'm gonna go ahead and just do the same thing. Down to there, and then snap a small pillar support. All right, now I got those on all 4 corners, but I want a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and run a beam like this all the way to the other side. Unfortunately, it intersects. I don't like that. That's okay. Just make it cross right there. It'll look fine from a distance. Can't tell the difference. So we'll do the same thing over here. And this is low enough that it doesn't interfere with our belts. There we go. A little bit of support. Now, this is also in the middle. You absolutely could like count how many foundations we got here. We got 13. We got 13 foundations between the two, so we can go. If we find maybe like the 7th one, this is the middle, so we could have another beam come down and intersect it right there. Fits between the belts. That works. And you can come all the way down if you wanted to. Take a look from a distance. Yeah, see? Looks great. I don't know why the platforms are floating. The way I did this first one, these platforms are a meter above the water, which, to be honest, I kind of like. That said, it looks like a floating platform, so we need something. So what I'm thinking is actually here at the edge, we're going to go ahead and switch to 4 meters under each one of these pillars. So it'll go intersect. And we're going to go do the same thing over here, but we're going to make sure it goes down to the bottom. So I'm going to delete these 2 so I can see what I'm doing. And we're going to go 4 meter. Vertical, and it looks like the floor is right there. So this now has a base of support, and we'll do the same thing over here. So yeah, so now we got a base of support at least at all 4 corners, and our platform looks a little elevated. It looks kind of nice. I like it. So what are we doing next? Well, I think the next thing we can do is just add some railing or border of any kind you like. This is just so you don't fall into the water when walking around. Get rid of that. Make sure you bring enough rods. I'll just go ahead and leave this pathway so I walk in. And let's go ahead and also do... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the construction fences. Here's the problem. I don't like the construction fences on the edge like this because they look like they're just hanging off. You could do it, but on the edge like this, I don't know, for some reason, it doesn't feel secure to me. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to use the modern railing. But we're going to go ahead and cut out one here in the center because that way you could somewhat walk on there. At least it gives you access. Gotta add our pillar support on this side. There we go. A little bit of decoration. Looks sturdy for the most part. It's got some color and it's running. So plug in that last coal generator. Water should be nice and saturated now. And there we go. Our starter coal factory is done basically. Could use a better ramp and we need to improve the belting. But we will do that when we set up our steel factory. Pretty happy with that. Let's check our power grid. 1,200 megawatts of clean burning coal. Okay, let's go unlock steel. All right, with some power under our belt, our sink line has filled up because we've kept it off because we didn't have power for it. But now that we do, we're going to go ahead and attach it to the grid and start earning some points. Be free! So the next thing to do is to unlock basic steel production so we get access to steel beams and steel pipes and go set up a starter factory so we can unlock the rest of tier 4. So let's get that done. And with that ready, we launch. Unlocking steel gives us access to the foundry, which will need coal and iron in order to make steel. So we're gonna go back to where our coal generators are. So we're gonna set up our initial steel production here. We're gonna clear some of this out, lay out some platforms where we can, and we have access to these 2 coal nodes. We don't need to overclock them right now, so don't have to worry about having power shards. And we also have 1 pure iron node right here. So 1 miner on this will give us 120. And if we combine these 2, we'll get another 120. All right, let's go ahead and get started by clearing out some of these unnecessary items. All right, that's a little cleaner. So now we need to put a platform out. Now, the problem is we can't actually destroy these little spikes. So we're going to have to make sure that whatever platform we do sits above these so they're not poking through. Try to set our base level up so that it's somewhat... There we go. So it covers them up. We'll just connect it to here, and then now we have a small problem here. These are going to be clipping through, so we're going to have to fix them, which is to be expected. So what I'm going to do to make this simple is I'm going to go ahead and just remove the poles, and I'm going to try to migrate these power poles out of the way just a little bit. All right, so we have the power lines and the conveyor poles out of the way. That way we can leave the belts there, and they're going to clip through for now, but it'll allow us to sort of get our platform out, and then we can fix it afterwards. I don't like it either, but it's temporary. Patience. I'm going to go out just a little bit this way. I'm going to switch to 4 meter at the end because that's going to be a wall or something. All right, good. So this platform should be more than big enough for a starter factory. Now we just need to fix these belts. We could switch them over here. If we put these down on foundations, just like this. All right, so the idea here is that we'll have the belts run over here, and then we can have them enter some floor holes right here. Because underneath, we have room to do a little hidden bus underneath, and we can build our factory on top. So we can just do something like this. Actually, not like that. That was coming the wrong direction. So we can have them come up here. Yes, I like that. I like this a lot. Perfect. And actually, if we wanted to, we have a little more flexibility with directions of belts. So if we put these here, so now we can snap our lifts to these, and we'll make sure we have set to output. And we rotate them so that the items will face us, and that way we have a better view of them. Not that it matters too much, it's just a tiny little thing so that we can see them come down, instead of them facing the wall. And what we're gonna probably do is we'll put a lift here, a little ramp here, and this should be at a good enough level to feed, or just have this miner sit on it. I know we're clipping, we will fix it. I just don't want to shut down our coal generators yet. We need to run all the belts over. All right, so let's run underneath and very quickly fix this. So we'll put Mark II here. Hopefully it doesn't clip too much on the spikes. I don't think it does. So we'll run these all the way down as far as we can go. This one goes to here. So we're gonna put that there. Now there's many ways we could do this, but I think we're gonna do a ramp for fun, especially if it lines up perfectly with what we need to do. Let me see here. Oh, I think that does. That's perfect. So we're gonna put another foundation there, and let's go ahead, add a big pillar support. All right, I'm gonna run these belts. Now there's lots of ways to do down a ramp. The new straight mode is interesting, we're gonna try it, but I find that with default mode at the very least, if you go 1 meter back and you end 1 meter forward, you generally cover the ramp mostly, straight, relatively straight. But we're gonna try straight mode and see what happens. Not what I wanted. Absolutely not what I wanted. So default mode it is. Now, if I had slanted walls, I would add some walls here, but I don't. So we're just gonna have to make do. We're gonna go ahead and add a ladder down the middle just for ease of access. If I need to climb up for some reason, perfect. That's what I want to see. And now, which we will need to do here, because right now we're gonna jump down with one of these. Don't fall in the water. We want these to come in straight. So we're going to go ahead and turn them. Actually, can they make it all the way here? I think they can. Just what I wanted to see. Straight mode, perfect. Then we'll do the second one. Same thing. We can jump down here, and we're gonna bring it down as far as we can. Not quite as far as the other, but that is okay. So at this point, we just need to connect them to these 2 brackets. So we're going to turn one over. We're going to turn one of the miners over into one of these belts, and we'll connect that up once the coal is at the end. And then once we're sure that's still working, we'll switch the other one too. Might as well start with this top one. Okay, we're going to rotate him sideways. Very quickly add our power shards, overclock it, plug her in just to get things flowing. We'll use straight mode, and we're going to send it off to this one here. And we'll go ahead and add some borders here just for feeling like we're doing something. You could add fences, you could add new barriers, whatever you like. All right, let's run down and see if this one's connected, or see if this is ready to connect. I really should unlock the parachute. Oh, there's the coal coming down, almost here. All right, we have coal at the end, so let's go ahead and unplug this one and plug this one in. Those coal generators are shutting down up there. Ah, yeah, see? Now we're down to 600. That's fine. So we're just going to wait for that to pick back up as the coal gets in there. Okay, we've hit full power again. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the second one. Let's get things flowing. We'll do Mark 2, turn straight mode off, and back on. We're going to go ahead and just connect this up. That should take care of our belt switching and cleanup. I don't like this. Perfect. That's what I want to see. I mean, I could do a back and forth belt, but I'm too lazy to run up one of those. So this is straight belt works for me. Let's focus on the top. All right, now we're going to get started on our starter steel production. We're going to throw down 3 foundries. I'm going to give myself a couple foundations of room here. So we'll put one here, we'll put one here, and we'll put one here. Now this one, I want to underclock to 30 per minute, which means it'll only take 30 ore as an input. And this one, we're going to leave at 45, and this one we're going to leave at 45. So they both take 45 for input. That means 90 between these two, and a 30 makes 120. And this also works out perfectly for what we're going to do next. Now we're going to go ahead and put down 3 constructors, and we're going to line the constructors up with the output port of each one. That one there, and this one here. Now, if we want to be able to walk through, you could do a lift like this if you wanted to. It totally works. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just belt across, straight across. So this one's doing 30 per minute. So we're going to go ahead and select steel pipe for this one, which takes 30 per minute exactly. So that works out. Now, the other two are making 45 per minute each. So we're going to select steel beam, which requires 60 per minute, and we're going to underclock each one of them to 11.25. So that takes 45 per minute perfectly. And there we go. That is our starter steel factory. We're going to end up making 20 pipes per minute and 22.5 beams per minute. All we got to do is merge them up and put them into containers. Straight mode, boom. Mark 1 belts, totally fine. So this is the starter factory. Our pipes will go in there, beams will go in here, and we are good. Let's power everything on. Oh, we can't power everything on. Let's go get the ore. And how are we going to do that? Because we are really close to these nodes. And what I say is we just do this. This is fine. So I'm just going to have this guy face this direction. And while our Barrett's going to do something a little funky, this is perfect. This one's fairly close to the grid, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a merger right here in front of this one. And I think we can have a belt come straight into it. And it looks pretty straight. It might be at a tiny angle, but I'm going to have the other one. It's going to come out all the way to here and merge in this way. We can't decorate too much because we don't have all the beams and all that stuff, but you know what? We could do something interesting where we're going to go vertical all the way down there and back to zoop, and then we're just going to zoop every other one and get rid of these. Now we can still see in there, but it kind of gives a little depth. It's not perfect, but add some tarpy stuff or barriers around that. We'll go ahead, add some walls where we need it here. Now over here, we're actually going to bring in iron. This works out perfectly. Our iron node is down. Maybe that's too far. There we go. Our iron node is down there. Actually, you know what? That was perfect. So we can bring this down. I don't know where it's going to place, but maybe we'll rotate him backwards like this. And that way we can bring this boy around. We're going to have to do a Mark II belt. And I'm going to line this up with the center. I think there. That looks right. So I'm going to put a ladder right here. Simple, effective. We don't need to overclock this. This is a pure node, so it will generate 120 per minute, which is what we need. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Summer's loop, focus. What was I doing? Oh, now it's all messy. Where was I? Oh, right, iron. Let's bring up the iron here. Actually, we're going to move this just so ever slightly. We're going to move it so it merges here. And the reason for that is so that it can easily turn in and line up with those. And another thing we're going to do is this is going to try to come down here. We actually want to bring this not into that, but we want to bring it here. I'm holding control here so that it's not snapping in. So if I let go of control, it snaps to that. If we hold control, we can actually hold it to the ground. And I'm going to raise it up like this. So it rotates and comes up a belt like that. So now what we can do is we're gonna have a Mark II belt here, and we need to get up top. And I think that's level. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 here, because we wanna line up this with a splitter. We're gonna do the raised splitter here just for walkability. Don't have to. Everything else was on the ground at this point over there, but I want some walkability, so we're gonna go splitter. So we're gonna line this up here. Right in the center is fine. We'll do that down the line, and one more there. And the other one, you've just seen this before. The other one we're just gonna raise up like this. Attach some lifts and run belts down. Now, we could have done a load balanced if we had it coming in the center, but oh well, I thought about it too late. And at the same time, I want to attach another Mark II to this belt, and we're going to raise it just higher. Now, hopefully I got this right, and these should just line up. This one into here, and this one into there. How fantastic is that? So that'll be our coal and iron coming in. Now we just need to power everything. I think I'll just hook it up right here. Double check the iron is running, and it is. Mark II, Mark II. There we go. Mark II. Okay. Okay. All of that is running. Perfect. Just what I want to see. All right, while that is starting to come up, I'm going to go ahead and just add a slight couple more decorations and walkability to this. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, everything's running. Yeah, it's a starter factory, and maybe I over-decorated a tiny bit, but it's not that bad. Take a quick look at the outside. I just quickly did the same thing on the sides here and a bit on the front. So, yeah, just took a few minutes. Didn't take very long. Nothing overly fancy. But we have some walkability, and then I adjusted these power poles, so if we're zip lining in, we can zip line straight into here. If you wanted, you could zip line over to the power plant, but there's also this nice catwalk that walks you all the way over. That's good. So when we come back here, got some nice walkability to get around. Always useful. If you can work it into your factories, you'll thank yourself. That said, everything seems to be running. Everything's moving. And we have steel beams and pipes being created. So these just need to build up a little bit, and we'll have some stuff to do some unlocks. Take another look. Oh, look. Where's our sphere? Yoink.
Your brain's operations are outside typical parameters.
Unfair. Okay, I think we've done pretty well for today. We've got our nice 1,200 megawatt starter coal power plant up and running, and we got a steel factory, a starter steel factory, up and running as well. Not to mention, we finished up our tier 1 and 2 base. It's all completed. So we've gotten a lot done today. And that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Now, more biofuel.